Last time on Dice Funk.
The Church of the Riddle Snake becoming this town's equivalent of the Eiffel Tower. Fucking love the idea that people would come for, like, tourist tours from other towns to come see the place where she's gonna force them to listen to riddles.
If you want strong ally, the shark kuo-toa, they are best military around. I do not know if you want to prioritize them or the food of the leshy or the magic of the abyss. The cephalids, they have access to high temperature and low temperature and high pressure magics. So everyone has different specialties you can access.
If we were to take the fight to the elves, as you know, that would have already put a bit of a mark in their books, in addition to just providing a structure of sorts from there. And also, I think, avoiding using the island's own structures, own routes to build things would also avoid upsetting the leshy in any particular way there.
I mean, what makes someone a banana boy? If it's a pin, I have one.
Well, if the Baron asked you to do something, would you do it?
No.
Well, then you're not a banana boy.
I need bones to build the stadium with.
Oh, I could help. I can enchant things. I can do magic. I made Boobala's spear stronger, and I made the architect's book stronger. Do you ever think I can make stronger?
I mean, I have a harpoon.
Porter casts some sort of spell, and the bracelet sucks up the shadow magic, the illusory key, I guess, because you're a monk, and just stores it. You don't know to what end.
Well, that would explain things, you know. So you were trying to pull off this spell, and in doing so, almost unmade yourself in the process.
Well, I would love to, but it requires ingredients impossible to get hands on. Components, I try to bully your orca friend to fight Kraken for me, but she does not do it. She is coward, she is scary, she is scared, and I cannot convince.
You know, maybe while we don't need the Kraken for the World's Fair here, maybe there's something that can be done about that for other planes.
The World's Fair is about to start. All the named characters are gathering together at your actually pretty spooky stadium. This is much more professional wrestling than like Roman Coliseum. As we discussed last episodes, like simple stands made of giant whale bones, a small square like fight area in the middle. But everyone's here. Papa Capehart is going to be the ring announcer. He's just saying, welcome everybody. I just want to thank y'all for coming out to support Zolfo. I want to thank the school and the church for helping getting everything ready. I want to thank the marching band. Actually, what musical instruments do any of you all play? Do you have proficiency? What musical instruments even work underwater? I guess crabs can play drums, if The Little Mermaid is to be believed.
Oh gosh.
You can play the drums underwater, I think.
This is something that I actually had to study a little bit in college, so I'm trying to remember this stuff here. Gosh.
People have worked out underwater singing techniques, like specific vocal techniques for singing while you're underwater.
Oh my gosh.
You can do violin underwater. Violin works pretty well, apparently. Percussion, I was right, you can drum.
Yep. The tricky thing really is that, like, the way acoustics work in water is different than on land, so you can get into a lot of little nuances about, like, how sound travels underwater. But it's just as fine to hand wave a lot of that because, well, the fact we can talk so easily underwater and stuff is also kind of a weird oddity of sorts. So, I mean, the hydroalphone, you know, I think was, oh man, now I'm trying to remember not the hydrophone. That's a recording device. I'm trying to think of the thing that's used for like a whole lot of horror movie stuff there. What are the things called there? Maybe a water
theremin.
No. A water phone is what I'm thinking of. Theremin is a different thing. A water phone is a metal thing filled with water, as like little metal rods sticking up from it. You bow the metal rod and then wave it around to make little warbles and stuff. So that's a thing that was used for a lot of horror underscore and stuff like that.
People just keep inventing new instruments, huh?
Oh, they sure do. Absolutely. I think I had to play a water phone once, but not for any actual purpose. I did learn how to play theremin, though. That was fun.
Sorry, I'm more confused by this water phone now I've looked it up, because the man who's playing it has a violin bow that he's playing this bunch of metal sticks with.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, basically with enough rosin, you can just rub the bow along those sticks. Those will vibrate and resonate. That resonation goes into the hollow metal chamber at the bottom, which is filled with water. And then when you move the thing around, it fluctuates the pitch up and down.
So the takeaway I'm taking is violin and percussion is the soundtrack to whatever's happening down here.
More or less, you can bow anything with enough rosin and ingenuity, and that's one of the things I learned studying percussion. I would bow filing cabinets just to record them for students and stuff like that.
So last we left the adventure, the team planned the World's Fair, a big sporting event / cultural exchange with neighboring communities. It started off because you needed allies against the Kilpatrick Coral Kingdom, because you killed one of their leaders, and they're going to be out for revenge. But now Dryside also is requiring some allies, so the stakes have been raised because upstairs a giant just threw some trees at the gig, and word is trickling down that it would be nice to have some allies to defend the island as well. So just generally, it's just not tenable. It's not sustainable anymore to be an isolated little like Wild West shanty town when you control so many valuable resources.
Not even when we're friends with a big worm / fish / snake. Is that not enough for people to bugger off?
The rattlesnake is certainly powerful, and listen, it's there. You got that in your back pocket, but that can't be the only thing, It's like America's like, we disbanded our military because we have a nuke,
I mean, I wouldn't fuck with them. They've got a nuke.
I mean, Laura, that's the direction you want to take this campaign in. Where like, everybody stand down. Let's throw all of our weapons in a big hole.
Okay, how's about this? Can I find additional riddle serpents? Can I find more of them, and we can just have we have more riddle nukes than you?
I mean, I don't know is the thing. This thing is just as much of a mystery to me as it is to the characters. Laura, I feel like you're the final say on all things Riddlefish. So
we're engaging with weapons of mass confusion here,
It's cool. I'll refuse to make anything canon until I need something in my back pocket, and then I'll just say it confidently.
Yeah.
You didn't know that the Riddle Serpent was actually leader of a faction, and that faction's gonna come in and back us up.
We got the whole Riddle family here, actually. Suddenly, this is being introduced as fact.
All right, so the opening ceremony happens. All the neighboring people come over. I can reiterate quickly. The basic factions that are arriving are the leshy, the seaweed and algae and kelp people from the highest part of the water column. Slightly down is the kind of bony fish, shark, and skates of the ocean, and then at the bottom the abyssal-pelagic. We got the deep sea creatures. These three factions are you need to win over, and there will be consequences if you don't. And that's what we're going to do for the next couple of episodes. We're going to basically trade off. One of you is going to fight in the tournament while the other two try to appease the factions, and then we're going to switch out. Seems pretty simple. Who would like to fight first? And then the other two, you start schmoozing and, making promises, slapping backs, kissing babies.
To remind us, is there any negative consequences for losing the tournament or potential benefit if one of us wins the tournament?
There is a prize for winning the tournament. The school, the government of Zolfo, is giving away land with a hydrothermal vent on it. They don't know what it does, but it specifically is spewing up green smoke. So the party can have an event which could have unlimited implications for the campaign as you go forward. That is like the driving factor. Even if the stuff that's coming out of it is useless, and it may be useful, you don't know. Even if it is useless, that could be a future well of resurrection. So that is the prize for winning and the positive outcome. But that is not your main goal. So if you lose, it's not the end of the world. The thing you're actually here to do is gain allies against the Coral Kingdom and White the Storm Giant. But that is the the impetus, that is the incentive for participating in the martial arts.
Ooh, I could have 2 events, and then I could poke the 2 events together and see if they make a cool third thing.
Are you counting the purple one in the church as yours, Barbella?
I mean, it did sprout up in the middle of my church. Like, I'm not saying it's explicitly mine, but, like, I'm not gonna say it's anyone else's more than it's mine.
All right. But yeah, Papa Capehart has one huge claw. He is a spider crab, and another stubby one where his got blown off in the first arc. And you are wielding that severed arm as a reinforced spear. So he cuts quite a figure as he welcomes everyone and just says, our town has been quite prosperous since we cut a deal for underwater mining with my explosive dust. And I just want to thank, the Church of the Riddlefish and the school for all their assistance with that. We've been through some tough times, but we're coming out stronger. So thank y'all.
Okay, so they're being publicly open about what their event does now. They're not keeping that a secret anymore.
Yeah, once they found a buyer. So basically what you affected in the first arc is instead of Grandpa and Grandma cutting out Papa and selling that stuff to the Elf Navy, who is going to be a problem probably. You just sunk one of their ships last episode. Instead of letting them have all the explosive, other people in the ocean are using it for underwater, basically cave building and mining and stuff. That was another one of the options for building stuff. Like last episode, you scavenged for bones and we sunk a ship. Another one is you could have used the explosives to clear a cave, had a under kind of a cave complex or something.
But yes, to go back to your point, the more I think about it, the more I do think that Barbella probably does consider that purple vent her vent. Just a little bit. Maybe she's not going to say that out loud, but also hey, I did religious practices and an event occurred. It's kind of my event.
Yep. So there's other events going on in Zolfo. There's the cultural. What was the event center in the ship that was built last time? There's of course the church and the gig. We know that Lillian is putting on shows in the gig, for example. So there's other stuff going on, but right now this Coliseum that's built out of huge scavenged bones is our focus right now. So whoever wants to be in the first bout, roll initiative.
I'm hearing some sirens in the background. They're ready for the bloodbath that's about to happen here. I guess for the sake of building up to more potent fighters, I'll throw Boyce into the ring first, and we'll see what happens there.
14. So the first fight, you look around the stadium. There's all the named NPCs you met so far. A bunch of shark people and kind of the Cephalid people we talked about last episode. They're all in the stands watching. And the first opponent comes out. They are a leshy, which is a plant person. Or they have long strands of what look like leaves, but they are actually a red algae person.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And Papa Capehart is going to do the ring announcing. So he's like, what's your hometown, Boyce? Where are you from?
Gosh, I forgot what I wrote down for that. I don't have a good snappy answer for that either. Shoot.
You can invent a place.
It could just be, Zolfo's own architect behind the gig. We have Boyce, the water genasi.
Yeah. I was gonna say it'd make most sense for Boyce to claim Zolfo as his home in this respect here, where he's from, in that respect. So we'll run with that.
And so Papa Capehart introduces your opponent from the epipelagic layer, closest to the sun from the northern community of the seaweed kelpie people. There's a competitor is going to be fighting under the ring name Red Tide. And you see as this leshy enters the arena, they are kind of trailing like red, almost like gas or fumes or some kind of smoke around their body as they come towards you. They're a pretty small person, like slight, but this cloud that hangs around them makes them appear much larger.
I would picture Boyce already standing in the ring watching Red Tide enter while Gowdy is just sort of like swimming around Boyce's ankles a bit. Just kind of, I would say eagerly, but just sort of like killing time with that little gesture there.
Yep. So you lost initiative, so Red Tide is going to just slowly start walking towards you, just very casually. Constitution saving throw as the red cloud that comes with them washes over you.
Okay, that would be a 12.
That is not going to do it. You are going to take only 2 damage, but I need another Constitution saving throw from you to see if you are poisoned.
I was like, what type of damage is it? Is it acid? Oh, it's poison.
It's poison.
That is a 10. That will not work, so I will say that I'm poisoned, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You enter the cloud around Red Tide, and you start feeling very unhappy. You are feeling woozy and gross. It's not good, and they just like smile at you and they say, "Lovely town you got here."
Thank you kindly for it. I will say, apologies, but we are in a ring here, so we have to kind of do our best as it is. And Boyce will try to shift back a little bit, and we got these sort of spells here. Boyce is going to deploy the spell Fireball on the leshy. I'm going to transpose the magic so it does ice damage instead of fire damage, though. So it's basically Ice Ball. So that is they need to make a dexterity saving throw versus 16.
15.
That does not do it, so that's 23 cold damage to them. As Boyce sort of like moves back, and like in their wake, you see like a small. It's almost like, you ever seen when you super freeze something like water and then it suddenly just sort of crystallizes when it gets any impact? It's almost like Boyce like does a snap of fingers, and in the middle of the arena, this large ball of ice expands and then ruptures at the at Red Tide in this case, and does a bit of damage.
Yeah, 23 is a lot, I will say. Spell slots and hit dice are going to be a major component of this tournament because it's all happening in one day. So, I mean, this is going to be your enemies too. Everyone's going to be low on resources by the final one. But yeah, you come out and you do one of your most powerful spells, a blast of ice. And Red Tide reels back and says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were a professional. I heard you were an architect. What? Dude, that's like soldier magic." Any
amount of time spent learning the ways of wizardry, it requires the essentials to be learned. And besides, sometimes, when you build a home, you gotta know how to protect it as well. So, come on, let's see what you got here.
Oh, well, I'll give it my all. And Red Tide just runs at you and it blasts poison in every direction. This is a desperation move. Dexterity save.
That would be a 5. Does that work?
A 5 does not work. No.
Oh, jeez. Oh, shucks.
You take 8 damage, and you're already poisoned. You can't get any more poisoned.
That's partially why I was just like, I don't really mind, because like I can't get more poisoned than this here. So,
yeah.
All right.
So, yep, Red Tide is just running at you. The whole battlefield is basically enveloped in this poisonous algae bloom at this point.
Okay, Boyce will try to shift their stance. They're going to use a first level spell, Tasha's Caustic Brew. So this will be a dexterity saving throw versus 16 as Boyce tries to. Wow, very nice.
That's great.
So in this case here, because they saved, nothing happens in this case. So Boyce rears up, points their fingers, a stream of acid goes straight at Red Tide, who I assume just like compresses into the ground, dodging it entirely and being left unscathed.
Yeah, their whole body is made from this very like swishy, flowing, almost plant-like matter. Not technically a plant for reasons too stupid to explain, but algae is very flexible and just bends around and comes at you again. Is just trying to stay as close to you as possible and hopefully choke you out. So dexterity save again.
All right, 18.
That saves. So you're gonna take half, which is 2. So not much. You're getting pretty good rolls here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little lucky here. All right, Boyce is gonna shift back and pivot to do a different acid spell this time. This time, acid splash. So that requires another dexterity saving throw.
All right, that's going
versus
to be
16.
22 again. Wow,
another crit. Wow.
What my gosh.
Well, all right. At least those aren't attack rolls or anything towards me. So that just means a dodge. Another case of of Boyce trying to invoke acid, this time like manifesting a bubble of acid, and Red Tide able to duck out of the way as the acid ruptures.
Acid versus poison. Let's go back to Constitution save on your turn.
7. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you're going to take 6 damage.
All right.
Once again, just weaving, flowing around you. At this point, jumping over you, spinning. It's purely defense. Red Tide doesn't have to do anything but wait until you die.
That is certainly a thought. I am... Boyce is staggering, but he has disadvantage on this attack, but he is going to make the effort to use Ray of Frost against Red Tide. Disadvantage, that's unfortunately a botch with
that
an 18
is not
and
good.
a 9. No, it's not good.
Wow, with that first fireball, I was like, oh my, you almost took him out in one shot. That was embarrassing, but the fight has dragged on much longer than I was expecting. Red Tide says, thanks for taking out that elf ship. That they were just throwing their trash over the side, and like one of those barrels ended up in my cousin's yard. It's disgusting. I appreciate it. I feel bad that I'm about to make you poop yourself in front of all your friends.
Still got a bit of fight to go here. Just keep on giving it your all right?
All right, dexterity save.
All right. That's a 12.
All right, you take, only 1. Terrible roll.
Boyce will then say, if you ever want to take out a ship like that, let me show you the best tool for the job. And then Boyce will gesture again. There's sort of like a vibration in the water as Shatter is cast at his assailant. So that is a Constitution saving throw versus 16.
8.
So that is 15 thunder damage as like the water like ruptures about Red Tide.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal. It's enough to just sort of knock the wind out of them and push them back down, but not to kill.
All right, yep. You blast away with Shatter, not only the cloud of poison, but also the leshy himself, who just flies back to uproarious applause from the audience. It was a very exciting battle. It was actually a lot closer than I was expecting.
Boyce is a little surprised, but he tries to maintain a little bit of grace. Does a tip of the cap to the crowd and a little wave, and then walking on over to make sure that Red Tide is all right before moving on.
Yeah, you're very sportsmanlike. You offer a hand. He seems to be able to somewhat control the leaking toxins, and withdraws the cloud somewhat, takes the offered hand, claps you on the back. You are on good footing with the leshy so far because of your actions last episode. So we'll talk more about this as we do negotiations and deals. But that's a good start. Now we cut over to Barbella and Reaper. What deals were you cutting during the first round of the tournament?
I was gonna say, I think Reaper is trying to schmooze, and she doesn't know how. This is the attempt of being social for a deeply antisocial person is something she can't quite figure out. So I imagine she walks up to some kuo-toa and she's like,
The weather, eh? I mean, we're in the ocean, so there's no... Well, you know, goodbye!
That's very funny. So Barbella and Reaper, if you're following Reaper around Barbella, you can see the three leaders of these factions are pretty obvious in the stands. There's a seaweed leshy, green bright. There is a Greenland shark, clearly very ancient, very large. This is like one of the biggest kinds of shark. And there is a Dumbo octopus cephalid, very distinct head shape. So you have been informed of all this by Elfago last episode. So
yeah, I think Barbella knows how she's going to start trying to schmooze with the cephalid. So she's just going to very confidently walk over and be like, "Hi, lovely to meet you. I'm Barbella. I'm from the Church of the Riddlefish. We have little booklets of free starter riddles if you'd like to, if you're interested. No worries if not. I wanted to introduce myself and also bring a little welcome gift, if that's okay."
of course, I love gifts.
Wonderful. So I have two things. First of all, Barbella is going to bring out a little vial of the purple stuff from the vent and be like, "I hear you enjoy down in the depths doing all sorts of weird mystical magical stuff, and I don't know what this is yet, but it's probably something that could be used for weird cool little magic stuff.
Oh,
So
allow me to see.
if you can work out what it is, like, I would appreciate you letting me know, but also like have fun putting in as a spell, see what it do."
Yeah, so this is a cephalid contingent here. There's like the main one, this Dumbo octopus, who has like the big head with the almost ear-like projections, very short tentacles, and you see he has some bodyguards. There's two blue-ringed octopus style cephalids next to him. They're extraordinarily venomous. And they they're keeping an eye on you for any sudden moves. You hand over a vial of the purple stuff. They look at it, and after some discussion between them, the cephalid says to you, "You are seeking my help. The schools told me our magic may be useful to defend your town from their enemies."
I mean, yeah, cutting to the chase. Yes. I'll lay our situation out on the table. We are the epicenter of a lot of dealings of a lot of people who have very strong opinions, and also, apparently I can now occasionally summon a big fish, and that happens. People have opinions about us, and it would be nice for not everyone to hate us. And it seems beneficial to try and make some good friendships. And we now have a new, my church currently surrounds a source of whatever this stuff is. If it's useful to you, a bit of helping both ways could be cool.
And what about you? The cephalid says to Reaper, who you're kind of wandering around looking slightly confused and lost.
What? Oh, I suppose I can offer you sit-up lessons. Do you need those?
My core is already very powerful from the crushing pressure of the dark depths.
Now see, this is what I was gonna say. I think you've got a lot in common already. You love the darkness. You live down in the darkness. So much to bond over. A mutual shared appreciation of the dark.
Have you been in the super darkness?
The cephalid looks a little, I'm trying to think of what even the facial expression would be. A little scared, because the super darkness is the hadopelagic layer, which is like asking someone like, oh, you like warm weather? Have you ever been to the sun?
Son.
He says,
Yeah, forgive my friend here. She's a little intense.
I've been to the super darkness. I was there. Isn't this connecting? I one-up them. I'm better.
I have only been down to the darkest depths for very short periods to do the darkest of magics.
And I went down there to train on the darkest of martial arts.
See, you've got so much in common.
All right, why don't you both roll persuasion to see how you come off? You're offering magic and dark arts, which are the two things this little guy wants.
Can I do intimidation because I'm trying to be scary?
Yep, that's Reaper's whole thing.
I was waiting.
20 for Barbella.
I rolled a 22.
Holy shit. All right.
Oh, look at us. We're a double act here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this is very good. Let's say basically what I'm looking for over the course of the World's Fair is for basically 3 friendship points with a faction for them to ally with you. 2 plus 20s is like, oh, you made such a good impression, you get a friendship point right away. So that's 1. The leshy also have 1 from sinking that elf ship. So that's where we are right now. None with the sharks.
That was partially the reason why I think sinking the ship was a good move in that case. It was like, oh, wait, we could already get it in.
Yeah. So, in terms of the sharks who haven't, like, schmoozed with yet, Barbella's part shark. And I'm wondering how much I can just be like, hey, I want to find someone in that delegation that I can conceivably be like, hey, we went to school together, how you been?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
We can definitely talk about that momentarily. I will say with that to end the Cephalid conversation, I think the Dumbo Cephalid says to you, your school is asking for specific defense spells, powerful protective magics, which require specific material components. We do not have all of the required items. I cannot ask you directly, but if you were to acquire some specific things, it would be easier to help you. And one of the blue-ringed octopuses behind him, obviously drops a piece of slate, like what we don't use underwater instead of paper.
Yeah, it's a little shopping list.
Yeah. Yes. He can't ask you for a bribe, so he's dropping a bribe list and saying, "Oops, there goes my bribe list."
To be clear, it's a bribe list. It's not actually materials that are needed for the spells.
No, it is. You pick it up, I will say.
Okay.
If you pick it up,
Okay.
you'll see a couple of things are listed. One that sticks out to you immediately is like, oh, this is going to be an ordeal. And it says, a devil's liver.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
We could probably do that. I kind of wish this was a bribe list, because then I could, like, offer substitutions. But, like, if it actually has to be that, then,
All right. So the first combat of the tournament was very successful, and the first schmoozing of the arc, very successful. So who's up next in the Coliseum?
I think Reaper wants to go. She's antsy. She wants to fight.
I have a quick question before we move on. Am I still poisoned?
Oh, so this is a good question. So I'm taking for granted everyone, as soon as you're done with your fight, you roll hit die and attempt to remove status conditions.
Okay.
There's like a medic on staff, so I'm going to say you do need to spend hit die and spell slots during this, but poison event, I think specifically Bishop Bittercreek will remove the poison with a spell. But that's a good question, because this is kind of a long haul, resource management. But
Yeah. All right. I'm going to roll some hit die then and take care of that, but I won't interfere. Anyways.
no, that's a good question.
All right, Reaper got a 10.
All right, that's your initiative.
Yeah, for
All right.
initiative.
Your opponent got a 6, so they lost.
Sucks to suck, nerd.
Let's put this up here. Papa Cape Part is introducing the next combatants. Where are you from? How do you want to be introduced? So you're XX. Actually, what's the Papa Cape Part's voice? XX Black Ebon Reaper XX, the kuo-toa. From where are you from, honey?
The darkest pits of hell.
Oh, I hear it's nice this time of year.
Shadows. From the heart of all shadows.
Ooh, that's exciting. And your opponent, Queen's Guard Allison from the Coral Kingdom. As the Medusa merfolk, who caused you so much trouble last arc, swims up, smiling brightly. She has a kind of orange and white color scheme. Her hair is like the whipping limbs of a brittle star, and she smiles at you broadly and says, "Hey Reaper, you kicked the shit out of my sisters in the Queen's Guard, but you and I actually didn't get to fight. I was fighting Barbella the whole time. I'm excited. I'm the strongest in the Coral Kingdom, and I hear you're the strongest here, so who's the strongest, That's fun."
I don't remember your friends, so they must have been weak and pathetic, and hopefully you are better than them.
Oh, wow, that's a cool line. That's hard. Yeah, you really whipped the shit out of all of them. It was like, 12 on 2, I think, and you won?
Yes, I'm very impressive like that.
All right, well, you also seem really fast, so I guess if you want to start, come at me.
Yeah, I want, and that's when like the Dragon Ball, like fucking like pachoo sound effect goes, and I'm immediately in close combat. So I believe last time, what was her name? Porter upgraded my harpoon.
Yep, the sea bunny, the kind of slug folk. She's in the audience, by the way. Important. Basically every named character who can breathe underwater is here.
Awesome. So I am going to attack with my new harpoon. So it is going to be 18, 11, and 25.
25 hits.
Okie dokie. Wait, 18 doesn't hit?
Oh no, 18 does. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh, woo!
I was like, damn, all right. I thought I was looking good for a moment. Now I'm not so much.
A sneaky little secret, I am using Barbella's character sheet for Allison.
Oh, I'm hard to hit.
All right, it's not your exact one now. It's from an earlier arc, but yeah.
All right, it is going to be 18 damage, and then I'm going to spend the key point to attempt a stunning strike.
All right.
So they need to make a Constitution saving throw and hit a 14.
Crit 23.
There you go.
shit.
That'll do it.
That's the third crit on a saving throw you've done so far.
Yeah, you start smacking Allison around, and you see as she like gets knocked back, it leaves an after image because her soul is not firmly attached to her body anymore because she entered the well of resurrection while alive. And so as you start hitting her, it kind of seems like you're almost splitting her in two a little bit. And then she wipes a little bit of blood away and says, "Wow, you're so fast, but are you as strong as I am?" And she just pulls out a knight's kind of broadsword and just starts swinging it at you. That's going to be a crit and a 4. So just the crit hits, but wow, I have crit a lot.
Uh-huh, you have a lot of crits.
All right, here we go. That's 14 damage as she starts wailing on you. It's pretty close combat so far, 18 and 14 damage respectively. And back to you. She's meeting you blow for blow.
Okay, I'm going to do another round of attacks here. So 24, 23, and 24.
Oopsie doodle, those all hit. Oh no, Reaper's too strong. Should have done a tournament arc with like Lillian or something, so you can't fight.
It's going to be 28 damage, and I'm going to attempt another stunning strike.
Oh wow! She is at a comically low HP number. It's very funny. Constitution saving throw 18. That's gonna save.
All right.
You start whipping her with the harpoon, and she says, "Is that thing even stronger than last time? It's glowing." When did that glow?
I believe it got sharper or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm just kicking your ass with it.
Oh, you're doing a really good job.
You can tell me if it's magical when I shove it up your rectum.
Oh, don't do that. I'll call the riddlefish on you. Barbella said there might be
And not as a sex thing.
No, I didn't assume. Barbella was saying there might be multiple riddlefish, so you don't want to mess me up too much. I'll call them. I'll get them over here.
I'm not afraid of them. Parentheses lie.
I'm sorry, we need the riddle ref here to officiate to make sure this doesn't get too out of hand.
All right, Allison attacks 17 and botch.
17 hits.
All right, so she swings the sword at you. I think you go to block it, and then her hair whips you across the face. You're going to take only 6 damage. Ooh, that's embarrassing. And for the botch, I'm going to level with you. She has 1 hit point left, so why don't you tell me how you win this fight? Because I do not see it going any further.
I think this is just a lot of like Reaper using the fact that she is extremely mobile. I didn't like specifically say it, but like part of what she has now is because she is so mobile, if she attacks somebody, she can like dash away and they don't get counted. Like there's no opportunity attacks. I don't think we're going to really play with that role, but I like the idea that she's just moving in and out very, very quickly. So somebody who's not like ready for that, it is like a very overwhelming thing. And I think eventually Reaper just sneaks up underneath her, like out like a blind spot because she's a bit shorter. It just goes peekaboo, and then just sort of like uppercuts her.
Wow.
Peekaboo, I got you.
She has big X's over her eyes as she floats up like vertically into the sky because they're underwater. When someone gets KO'd, they float up instead of falling to the ground.
Yeah. Belly up, as we know. I've had a fish tank before.
And everybody claps. They're all very impressed. The Cape Hearts in particular are going absolutely bananas for you. I know you've been making a character note to ignore them, but they are let's say noticeably, conspicuously hooting and hollering at your victory.
Yeah, I think Reaper is like soaking in the applause, but like when she sees the Cape Hearts applauding, she I hate using this as like a word because like I feel like I should have a better vocabulary, but she soons, like she does the soon like pout lips, like turn her head away, like I don't know, I don't care about them applauding for me.
One of them has like a Reaper shirt on, and they're trying so hard to get Reaper's attention.
Yeah, the twins are pumping their fists. They're chanting. Meanwhile, Boyce and Barbella, what's your next schmooze move? That's fun to say. Schmooze move.
I'll say that Boyce is a little bandaged up. I don't think he had many wounds that required it, but he has some bandages on almost to indicate progression in the tournament arc.
Yeah, but if we, in lack of any other ideas, Barbella is on the lookout for anyone she can enact plan. I think we went to school together. How you been? From the shark delegation.
Yeah, perfect. So I will say that the kuo-toa, who are a variety of different sharks, are not exactly the same as you. You're a triton, but let's just say that that something like that works. Essentially, we could work it out. We could do some kind of roll or something. But let's just say if you're not going for the leader directly, you're trying to find someone else. There is a great white kuo-toa who looks familiar to you, and you can roll up on him. Do you want to just let's get a history. Let's see how your plan goes.
Let's get a history and see where this rolls.
Probably not for me, but yes, just for Barbella, I would say.
9.
Yeah, so not particularly well. I'll say this guy looks familiar, and you're like, hey, it's me, it's Barbella. And this great white shark kuo-toa looks at you and says, sorry, lady, I don't know who you are. I'm Goldsby, the great white fighter. I'm gonna be up in a little bit. You know me? Are you a fan?
Barbella quietly retreats into herself, being like, we were in math class together for 4 years.
Oh, I was never very...
just shuffles backwards embarrassedly into the crowd.
I was never very good at math.
Hey, boys, you got any plans? My plan failed. I'm out. I need help. How do we make shark friends? I'm not good at this.
I mean, we can maybe just appeal to their sensibilities, their interests. I mean, we don't have to necessarily like have some prior relationship. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, what can we provide that might appeal to not even their leader, but just to the ones around us.
Suddenly Google's what do sharks like?
They do not like being grabbed by the nose and sent upwards to prevent an attack. I don't think they enjoy that. So don't grab at their snouts.
We mainly feed on smaller fish and invertebrates, but I don't want to give up my crab leg because that's good.
You bring a seal over into the stands and cause a feeding frenzy.
Yeah. So trying to think here. So these are sharks. They're also like militaristic, right? So outside of just I'm trying to think here. It's like I'm thinking like, do we want to say maybe one of the vents nearby has like some resource you could use to make dangerous weapons with? Who knows?
I mean, look, it feels cheap, but part of me is like, I'm trying to resist the urge to try and use the purple vent as a resource a second time to be like, this could be a military thing. I don't know.
I mean, I was gonna say
you test it for military gunk.
I know we're doing like a tournament arc, but one thought is, do it just like get a few of them and just like do some arm wrestling or something while making small talk.
I could be up for arm wrestling. Okay, Barbella's gonna confidently stroll toward the leader of this faction and go, "You up for an arm wrestle?"
All right, yeah, you approach the Greenland the Greenland shark, which is very old looking. As you approach him, something that you notice immediately is he doesn't look at you. His eyes appear to be like scratched up, like they have like almost like scabs over them. It's very kind of unsettling, and there are other sharks around him who look at you. There's a hammerhead, there's a tiger, there's all these different kind of kuo-toa sharks here, and they all look at you like your brazenness of it just approaching the leader. But he responds to you, "I've arm wrestled once or twice in my day."
Yeah. The name's Barbella. You up for one now? You got one in you?
Oh, perhaps in these old bones there lies some strength still sleeping.
Can I like do an insight or something? Is this an act? Am I getting?
I was gonna say like he's slow rolling you here. He's playing into your confidence.
Insight me.
15.
So it's an act in the sense that he does know he's very strong, he's very big. It's not an act also in the sense that he is very old, he is blind.
Yeah.
So two things are happening simultaneously. One is that he is an old man. Two is that he is very strong. So
yeah, he is being sly about his strength. He isn't as weak as his frailty might suggest.
100%.
That's good. That means I don't have to hold back.
I was gonna say he's a shark, like a pool shark. You gotta do a little bit of that, right? So
look, Barbella was mainly like, look, do I have to hold back to be respectful, or can I like fully go for this?
The Greenland shark says, "How about we make this interesting?"
Yeah?
Do you have anything to wager?
Ooh, what do I have to wager? Barbella ruffles around in her pockets, and she pulls something out and she goes, "How about the first riddle I ever wrote at church? It's not good, but it's significant to me."
Is that money here in my home? You can't buy a sea lion with a riddle.
Okay, do you want $20? I'll put $20 down.
Okay, to be clear, you don't have anything in your inventory you're wagering. You're just willing to go into debt.
I'm having a look. What do I actually have in my inventory that I can wager? I don't really have many things. I'm not much of a. I have my book of riddles. I have. Do I actually have a thing?
Yeah, so I know off the top of my head you have your +1 spear. Like, that's something that he absolutely would, wager with you.
What, my crab leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my only weapon, and I'm about to be in a fighting tournament.
Absolutely, yeah.
If only I still had also a trident.
I was just like, I could put up some spell slots on the line. You can have my spell slots if you win.
I mean, we can do abstract money, which is to say, okay, you have some gold pieces with you, Barbella. If you lose, you will be -1 reputation with this faction.
Okay. You know what?
What?
Here's what I'll put on the line. I can't give up the weapon, but I'll do my next fight in the tournament without the weapon if I lose. You'll get to watch me get my ass kicked.
Oh.
That worth a wager?
Almost. I would modify it slightly.
Yeah, would you?
I would say you take a dive.
What? I don't even get to try and win with just these little fists.
And this is where I reveal why a fighting tournament is so important for corruption. Why sports go hand in hand with this sort of thing is because these are perfect money making opportunities. In fact, every fight that happens in the arena is a opportunity to gamble.
Hell yeah.
Okay. If I lose, I take a dive. Fuck it, sure.
All right. Show me that bicep, little lady.
Okay. God. That little lady comment. Barbella is like...
Yeah?
You know how sometimes you're like, I need to win now purely out of spite because I cannot let that lead to me not succeeding? That's running through Barbella right now. I don't know if that changes her stats at all, but she cannot let that stand.
Yeah, I mean, so if you want to do this, we can do this. Hit the die.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's make some connections.
23 for the Greenland shark.
Oh fuck! Is this just strength?
Yep, just a strength.
And I don't get like advantage or anything for being brazen or something.
Unless you have a spell, you might have a spell that does something like that.
No, unless anyone can Boyce, can you buff me up at all?
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull that off without drawing attention to it though, but let's see. Yeah, the only things I have, it's like, okay, I can throw silvery barbs at the, but I don't think doing that to a person is gonna really endear.
No.
And guidance is gonna have some.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit the fucking button. What is it? 8.
All right, yeah. I mean, you're very strong, but this guy, have you ever seen the movie Ichi the Killer?
Oh God, yes.
There's a very old man in that movie who reveals his jacket to reveal he has like Schwarzenegger in his prime bod. That's kind of what happens here. This old man is just so fucking ripped. He nearly rips your arm off at the elbow.
What Barbella will do in response to this, she'll take a deep breath for a second and go, "It's cool. I got what I wanted. We're chatting. It's nice to meet you."
Oh, yes, it is very nice. I will bet everything on your next match with Goldsby, the White Terror.
Well, seeing as this next match is going to be so profitable for you, hopefully this could be the beginning of a profitable, relationship between the two of us, between your community and ours, where we're currently looking for allies, and hopefully this demonstrates that we can be useful to you. If you can, you can be repaying that kindness. We could get on great, I think.
Of course. Perhaps you are used to dealing with more subterfuge than I will bring to the table. I am a simple man. I will not send you on a quest or try to trick or manipulate you. If you want my shark soldiers, I require 1 million gold pieces.
And does that include, like, the amount you're about to win off me doing a dive? Does that, like, count toward the million?
Sure, I'm in a generous mood today.
Okay, Boyce, can you do the maths, like, how much this is about to win? Like, is this one bet about to, like, get us that army?
Boyce consults the local bookie that is just sort of like running around with the odds, obviously. So what are the odds on the Barbella fight here? Let's see.
Yeah, so instead of doing actual math, we're going to abstract this out. If you throw the fight, he will make 1/3 of the money he wants off of that, and then you'll need to find 2 other ways to make him money, basically.
Yeah. No, because my only thought of how I was going to try and make this more than one, like, a bigger chunk at one point, is if Barbella casting Zone of Truth on herself and committing under Zone of Truth to throw the match might be enough for him to be confident enough to put more money down on the match.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know if that's a play at all.
I see what you're saying. I just think he already believes you. I mean, you can double cross him if you want.
Okay.
But he's gonna like.
No, I have.
He's betting the max that like the bookie will take.
Okay, fair. I was really hoping my throwing myself out of the tournament would be more than 1/3 of a faction, but I guess I'll live with it.
Yeah, it's certainly it's certainly a twist. I wasn't expecting it, but this is why we do dice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Barbella shakes and goes, I can't exactly throw multiple matches, but like, hopefully this gets us on the right start.
Yeah. So you're up next, and you're up against Golby the Great White. And Papa Capehart gives you the introduction. Barbella, the Triton from the Church of the Riddlefish. Yay! Do you keep to your word and throw the fight, or do you want to actually roll this out? Both are viable options.
Barbella intends to throw the fight, but to make it look convincing.
I'm getting flashbacks from season 2 just now.
Yeah, that very, very specifically, Barbella wants this to, like, end in a dramatic... Like, if Barbella could get her way, this would end in a dramatic... You know how in, like, the shonen animes, you'll get that one scene where both characters are, like, almost about to collapse, and, like, whichever one of them, like, runs out of breath and falls to the ground first is the one that loses, and there's barely a hair in it. That's how Barbella's would like it to go.
That sounds like a textbook performance role.
Make sure that on the second to last attack of the fight, don't crit accidentally and kill the person you're supposed to lose to.
15 to make it a dramatic near finish anime fight.
Yeah, 15 is what I wanted for no one to be suspicious. Because yeah, if you were too obvious, maybe some tough customers would come around. You've seen a Mafia movie before. Somebody might be mad about this, but with a 15, I don't think there will be any consequences besides you being knocked out of the World's Fair tournament.
But Barbella sort of gets up and shakes her competitor's hand and goes, good fight. Next time I enter a tournament, I guess I won't stay up all night reading scripture the night before. Not a good recipe for being awake, but you fought well.
Oh, thank you. I strength trained for so long. I really ate all my Wheaties. I've worked really hard for this, so that means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, and you could go on to win the whole thing. The work you put in is really clear.
Oh, you mean it?
Barbella. Yep, definitely mean it.
Oh, also, just
Barbella.
Congratulations on your flesh. It was very tasty when I bit you because I'm a big shark.
Yeah, it was. Yours was tasty when I bit you because I'm also, Okay. Barbella walks away going, those Wheaties did nothing. It was a
Damn.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about the muffin, coming after us here.
Oh my God, was that Mafia with Finn? Is that what you just did?
Yes, so I did. The muffin. That's why I said.
All right.
Twice.
But yes, Barbella will make sure the other two are aware of everything that went down and be like, yeah, so you two gotta win this, because currently the three of us only have one vent, and we could have 2 vents, and then we could have 3 vents, and then we'd each have a vent, and like that would be cool. So good luck to you both. Sorry that politics required the coolest anime finish throwing of a match ever. Oh, I'm so good.
All right. So now all 3 factions have 1 point right now. You're looking for 3 by the end of the arc to get them 1 over. So it seems pretty good so far. I mean, there's been some consequences, but I think we're doing pretty good.
Okay. So I guess what is our next scene? We still have to have like a chat with the leshies at some point. But I assume we also want to do deeper tournament arcs, yeah?
Well, during Barbella's fake fight, that gives Boyce and Reaper a chance to schmooze. My mouth malfunctioned there. But yeah, in the background, Barbella and Goldsby are like fake wrestling, biting, chomping, slamming. What about you two? Who are you talking to? What are you trying to accomplish?
I think I do want to note that I think there is a part of Reaper that is disappointed that Barbella threw the match. Not like I'm mad at her or anything, but there's like a part of Reaper that knows Barbella could have gone farther in the tournament, and it makes her a little sad to know that she won't.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I guess we'll then work with the leshy delegates in this case here. I do want to have a little chat on the way. Or rather, this will be happening while Barbella's match is happening. So I was going to talk about that, but I do want to have a back and forth about that at some point, whether it's before or after the leshy, I guess.
With who?
Well, with Reaper, about what happened with Barbella. And
yeah, right now.
Okay,
This is a Reaper Boyce scene.
Yeah. It's a real shame that Barbella had to, well, leave the tournament under those circumstances.
Wait, what do you mean, circumstances?
She, to put it simply, she had to lose on purpose.
Why on earth would anyone lose on purpose? Losing's the worst thing.
I'm sure it was the worst thing for Barbella too, but we're trying to, make these connections, and well, with the kuo-toa, with the sharks, they're very insistent on getting 1 million gold, and so the match panned out the way it did, so they can get some of their finances.
Wait, aren't the shark people supposed to be the strong military ones?
That they are, supposedly.
And they're more interested in money than proving who's the strongest.
I think just because they have a strong military doesn't mean they have the same respect you do for just, personal strength and all that.
Then perhaps we don't need them. They're pathetic and losers.
Well, if we can at least get the leshies and maybe the cephalids on board, I think we could not necessarily make an enemy out of the kuo-toa. We don't need any more enemies, but I'm kind of with you that, like, as much as I want us to have the most strength we can, it's if you get into financial troubles with someone and they can leverage that over you, it's certainly a coward's way out, but it can be very effective at getting what you want.
Fine, but I make a promise to eliminate every kuo-toa from this tournament that I see. I'll be the only shark left standing, and then they'll know that I am the pinnacle of strength.
Listen, that would make me very happy to see. I mean, I'm still surprised I'm in the tournament. I was expecting to just get blown away, but
you're very competent. Why would you be eliminated early?
I don't know. I kind of undervalue what I can do outside of like my interests, but when you get put in a spot, sometimes you just kind of move before thinking,
Nonsense. You're very talented and strong. Maybe not like physically strong, but like brain strong.
I appreciate that compliment kindly there, Reaper. Your strength and determination and your willingness to not suck at the job at hand is very admirable, and I'm looking forward to seeing how your other rounds turn out there, Reaper.
Victories. That's how they're going to turn out.
We can only hope. All right.
So what's the deal with these plant things?
Yeah, so we could
They
possibly
make
get
potatoes or something?
I think some of them might be potato based. I think some of them might be tubers, but I think it's more the fact that getting a more secured food supply would be a big aid for us. So I was hoping that sinking that one elf ship should give us an inside already. So let's see who we can find to mingle with here. And I guess Boyce is going to try to see if try to find either the main delegate or maybe even see if Red Tide could point them to anyone that would be good to talk to kind of work on like the schmoozing here.
Yeah, I think there's a clear leader, like a bright green classic seaweed delegate surrounded by brown algae guards. But maybe that's a little too direct approach. I think you had a good connection with Red Tide, who's like, signing autographs or something, and you could walk up. I think that would probably be a more like an easier DC as far as like rolling stuff goes. So if you walk over there, Red Tide sees you and says, Janasi, hey, how's the lungs?
A bit better now. That was a bit of a potent brew you threw my way.
Yeah, I had another kind of mixture, but I was trying to save it for a later fight if I got deeper into the tournament. But they say you can't take it with you, so hindsight's the 30-50 or whatever.
Do you even have eyes?
What? Yes, I have eyes.
The picture in the roll 20 doesn't have eyes.
No, not for the. I think the picture you showed earlier for Red Tide, there was no eyes on that picture there.
Okay, so there's a picture of a seaweed leshy from Pathfinder in the roll 20, but when Red Tide fought, I literally just picked a picture of Red Tide, which is an algae bloom.
Yeah, you at least Photoshop some googly eyes on it.
Nah, you can't see. This is good to know.
Now I'm picturing him like a Cousin It, where the eyes are completely covered by all the the leaves and stuff. Yeah, my whole face is down in here. You could, if you dig in, you'll find it.
I figure it also helps in kind of disguising your next move when you're in a fight. There's layers going on there.
Yeah, I'm a very mysterious individual. It's scientists can't quite agree on all of the things I can do.
A bit of mystery is always kind of fun. But yeah, it was a good spar we had there. And like I said, that last little spell I threw your way, that's kind of what I did when I took down that elf ship to kind of make this whole little structure we got down there is. Boyce points over to the, it looks like the front portion of a ship kind of erupting up from the ground and converted into almost like a community center type thing.
Yeah, I'm actually going to head over there as soon as I'm done meeting my fans. I hear they have, you all have all kinds of exciting things set up for the Exchange Festival. I'm very excited.
You lost in the first round. How do you have fans?
I'm very strong where I'm from. We're a different culture. People here are made of sturdier stuff. It's like, a Texas football program compared to a Rhode Island football program. I'm good in Rhode Island.
I thought we were Rhode Island in this case. Okay, we're Texas. Got it.
Yeah, the deeper down you go, the more pressure, the stronger you have to be.
I don't understand it, but whatever.
You don't understand resistance training? I mean, I'm looking at your calves and I feel like you do.
I understand swimming down very deep and then going and surviving in that pressure. Is that resistance training? You might have fancier words for it. I call it developing yourself in darkness training.
Yeah, I don't do that so much. I'm basically from the surface. I'm underwater, but when I wake up in the morning and I stretch my arms and I get out of bed and I do a big yawn, the tips of my fingers go up out of the water. That's where I live.
Gary, what kind of material are you using for the walls that can handle that sort of amphibious context without any ill effects there?
What kind of walls? Well, we don't need that many walls. There's natural sea walls on one side, but we are pretty safe up there. We're not having we're not having all kinds of problems. Oh, I mean, most of our problems are economic. You know, the krill cartel is really putting the squeeze on us.
Do you need us to beat them up for you?
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Can you do that?
Where are they? Are they punchable?
Oh, they're all around us. They're everywhere.
Are they running the books for the tournament?
The krill cartel? I certainly hope not. That would be awful.
That would certainly nothing we would want to have happen around here. But I mean, listen, I mean, taking out one threat from the elves, not a problem. I don't think there's a huge issue. Seeing if we can do something about this cartel problems you've been having too, to offer some more security and safety.
Yeah, they're our main competitor in food for the Great Eastern Sea. So if you had any intel, any corporate espionage, any leads, that would be perfect. I hear that you all want to strike a deal with our community and have us import a bunch of food over to you. I guess export from us, import to you. You know how it works. Food.
Well, I have defeated many members of a gang. Perhaps I could put them under my heel and learn more of their ways than, I guess, just swim upwards and beat up whatever seems, similar to the stuff that's down here.
However you do it, I'll leave it to you. I'm just I'm an athlete. I'm a sports guy. So if you all are more of like investigative detectives.
No, I'm a martial artist. What?
I hear you. Yeah, you're like lawmen who work for the church.
No.
You're a posse.
No, I'm the strongest warrior. I'm the ultimate fighter. Is that not what people say about me?
Yeah, you're the church's ultimate fighter.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I bet there's probably different things people say about Reaper. One is that you're just a badass martial artist. Some people think you're under the church's thumb, and some people think you're like loyal to the school. I bet bit different people have different views on it.
Do they not tell legends of me up where the leshy live?
No, sorry. What did you do that we should have heard about?
I killed a great white shark.
Oh, I wouldn't say that around Goldsby. Like it behind you, the great white shark is just like walking around.
I'll beat him up when the tournament comes around to it.
Okay, well, good luck. I've heard he has really messed up a lot of people. I'm actually kind of glad I got out of the tournament before I had to fight him.
I guess that just means we need to make some new legends. The scourge of the krill cartel, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would tell everybody.
Well, all right. I guess we gotta see if we can hunt down this cartel and make them a bit more agreeable, eh, Reaper?
Absolutely. We'll obliterate them off the planet.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Reaper's on-screen accomplishments. So you saved the Capehart family, so they like you, and you saved, Allison's allies and hurt the Coral Kingdom. So you're known there. But yeah, your legend hasn't spread to the Leshy yet. But if you have 1 point, one friendship point with the Leshy delegation, if you do 2 things to undermine their main competitor in the food industry, this krill cartel, you will gain them as an ally. And now you know all 3 factions and what they want.
So do we have any idea where the krill cartel actually is?
That's a great question. Why don't you roll history?
Oh gosh. All right. That is a 14.
History, eh? Not acrobatics, huh? All right. How about a 2?
So a 14 and a 2, I'll say you don't know off the top of your head, but you know above average, which is to say that if you ask someone more knowledgeable, they will tell you. So rather than just saying no, you don't know shit, I will say if you ask Bishop Bittercreek, he's very well informed, or maybe even one of the Capeharts, something like that. They will tell you, and this will be somewhat simplified. I'm not just leaving you out here with your thumb up your butt in the middle of the ocean.
I have an important question now. The Krill Cartel, is cartel spelled with a K?
It is now, yeah.
Okay.
Good. All right, so I guess the question is, who do we talk to, the Capar or the or Bitter Creek here in this case?
Well, we're gonna cut to another fight because you have learned what the leshies want, and it is time for the next round. Boyce, roll initiative against your opponent.
Oh boy, let's see. I did spend some hit die, and I actually rolled exactly what I needed for maximum, so I'm back at full health. That's a 5. Please roll a 4 or a 1.
6.
You.
How
dare you? You should have.
the audacity!
You beat me by 1. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So your opponent, you get the introduction from Pop Capehart again, who says, Zolfo's own Boyce, the Water Genasi, architect of the gig. We're also very proud. And hailing from the abyssal pelagic layer, we got. Let me show you this guy. This is a Cephalid, a kind of octopus or squid creature. What do you all think about this guy?
Oh, that's...
Oh, yeah.
That's a friend. That's a chibi little goth right there.
This is a vampire squid, a real creature that exists very deep in the ocean. It has very short body type, just like the Dumbo octopus. These are all for similar reasons, which is that down at the very, very bottom of the world, your body needs to adapt. So they don't have the long arms that most squids have. They have a kind of very short mouth section, but they have like piercing blood red eyes and dark black bodies.
Where the Dumbo squid looks like it has ears, this looks like it has little wings on its back.
Yeah, so Papa Capehart introduces this scary vampire squid, and she says, "From the darkest depths of the ocean, it's Salazar the vampire squid." And right up, we're gonna do Vampiric Touch. Without wasting a moment, he leaps at you, Boyce, and is going to try to lay a short tentacle on you and drain your fluids.
Not my fluids.
Your fluids.
All right. So that's a 17 that hits my AC.
Hits your AC. Vampiric Touch. The touch of your shadow-wreathed hand can siphon force from others to heal your own wounds. On a hit, the target takes 3d6 necrotic damage. So, this Cephalid jumps out at you, puts one of its kind of short, stubby tentacles on you, and then the black skin of the tendril turns blood red, and you feel a sharp biting pain as he just sucks blood out of your arm, and just looks at you with beady little eyes and says, "It's been so long since I had fresh blood. Down in the depths, we feed on the tiniest organisms. There's no flavor at all."
Well, I guess glad you got a taste of something with flavor to it, but I hope that the things aren't too bright for you up here, just to be sure. And with that, Boyce kind of tries to put a little bit of space and cast a guiding bolt on the Cephalid here.
Perfect.
That is a 27.
Holy fucking balls! What the fuck?
That's a 19, natural 19.
You know what? And you make a great point. Creatures from the dark depths of the ocean are very poorly adapted to light. I was actually going to bring this up with a different creature later, but this vampire squid feels perfect for you to say that they're weak to light. So you do double damage, 32, and they're glowing.
Yes. Yeah. It's like just like almost like jumps back, does like the Yu Hakusho Yusuke, just sort of finger gun type of shot there. That is rolled. How much did I roll there? Yeah, that's 4d6. I rolled 16 damage, 32, and I'll have advantage on my next attack roll.
Yeah, they're gonna have disadvantage because you mentioned Yu Yu Hakusho, which I love. Just kidding, because they're glowing light and their eyes are not adapted to it. But Salazar says, too spicy. The people up here are too spicy. 22, that's gonna hit regardless. So Vampiric Touch again, just runs forward, rams an arm into your chest and starts trying to drink your heart blood. Terrible roll. Only 7 damage.
Well, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna kill Boyce, at least not yet. All right. So yeah, more more of that going on. Man, that was a impressive roll there. Let's see here. I'm double checking. It's not super exciting, but I'm gonna have Boyce kind of backstep again and cast a second level guiding bolt here with advantage. So let's see what we got. An 18.
My word. So 18 hits, and that's what, 44 damage?
Correct. Yes.
Holy shit! I really thought Boyce was going to be out too at this point. I made my bracket, and I was like, Barbella versus Reaper for the championship. How is this happening?
To be clear, that was 5d6, and I rolled 3 6s out of that set there.
And during all this, Barbella's just in the background, like, looking for vampire riddles in the riddle book rather than being in the tournament. Such as, what is a vampire's favorite fruit?
A blood orange?
That is an acceptable answer. I was going to go for a nectarine.
Oh, that's so good. Even better.
Oh, fuck, that is good.
Yeah, this is what Barbella's doing rather than fighting.
Mm-hmm. All right. So while Boyce is winning that one, I guess we move so quickly. We want to paint me a picture of you using light rays to take down this vampire squid from the abyssal layer of the ocean. Like I was like working up to like a so they master darkness like Reaper. They're like a cool shadow. No, fuck you, eat shit, die.
This is. I also view it as like being a scribe mage. The whole gimmick is like I have access to all these damage types, so I can choose the best one when I need it. In this case, I just have guiding bolt, so that does it too. In this case here, Boyce kind of gears up for another like shot like before, but this time Gowdy sort of like extends down his arm and kind of like juts forward, mouth agape, and it sort of causes the entirety of Gowdy's body to sort of light up as the second guiding bolt shoots out and knocks the what is it, vampire squid is what it is it?
Yep, that's the real name of this creature. It is not a vampire in D&D sense.
No. I just want to make sure it's like, yeah, and Boyce like that shot like knocks the vampire squid like straight back and like and leaving a little bit of like a divot on the ground because they're hit back with such force from that.
Absolutely. So you win again. Everyone's clapping. I think El Fago, specifically in the audience, is like the closest NPC to you at this point, just because you have very shared interests and probably has a very sturdy sign that says, Boyce #1, holding it up in the audience.
Boyce will actually get a little flushed if they notice that sign, which they probably did. But yeah. Another tip of the cap, almost like a gesture of blowing the fingers, like guns, stuff like that, before helping the vampire squid up, being a good sport still on the way out.
Man, I really thought I was going to be more of a character. I thought I would get a couple rounds in. I'm pretty cool by design. Fuck it.
Yeah, listen. You should probably touch base with my friend Reaper if you want to understand how to leverage the darkness as a vehicle of offensive potency. That's really her domain, to be fair.
Yeah, so meanwhile, Reaper and Barbella, you know what the three factions want. What are you talking about, and what are you doing to accomplish those goals?
So, I think the series of events has actually worked out quite well here, because Barbella being out of the tournament means that she's not having to conserve any resources right now, which is great, because we need a demon heart. Is that what it was? A demon heart?
A devil liver, which is very funny.
Sorry,
how close it is.
A devil. I was in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how I achieve one of those, but I assume probably some fighting is required.
Yeah, probably.
And Barbella's got all these resources she hasn't used any of yet this arc to, do that.
So I think Reaper is just saying like,
But I thought all the devils are gone, or I don't know. Are they still around? Or is this like one of those riddles? Is there a devil fish?
I did look for like is it something like what's a devil but is alive, like a devil liver, because it's the one that lives, and I couldn't find anything in the glossary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there not a devil fish somewhere?
I don't know. You've killed basically every kind of creature in this ocean. I hoped you would know.
I mean, well, you know.
She's almost like kind of bashful at that. Like, she's just like,
Oh, well, you know, I guess I have.
can I roll, I guess a nature check? Do I know of any devil or devilfish or anything like that? Or devil fruits?
Okay. These are two distinct questions. If you want to know about a devilfish, that is nature. If you want to know about devils, the kind of creature, that is a religion.
Well, they're both the same negatives. 1. Not a botch, but a 1.
I'll do a religion to try and salvage this. 6.
Holy shit. Extremely bad. No, you don't know. I'll say the same thing I said when you were asked about the Krill cartel, is that you're going to have to resort to asking someone, but because these rolls are so bad, I'm not even going to tell you who. I will leave you there. With this, yeah, this is going to be a little harder than betting on fights or asking someone for help, so.
Yeah. Okay, new approach. I'm just gonna go back and ask them whether it's literal or whether it's whether it is, we're meant to have realized it's like a fish or something. Maybe they'll know where I get it. Because, I said I'll get it for them. But, surely they can, tell me where to go get it, and then I can go get it.
Should I go see if someone else knows? We also need to find out where the Krill cartel is, or what they are, really.
Yeah. Well, okay, how's about this? We meet back up here in, 5 minutes, having asked every random person we can think of, who might know where one of those factions is. I'll try and find the I've already forgotten the demon spleen. You try and find the shrimp mafia. We'll meet back here in 5.
Okay, but I'm very fast, so I'm gonna be here sooner.
My 5 minutes are faster than your 5 minutes.
I experience time differently than everyone else. On account of how strong I am.
Barbella's a dumbass. She's literally going to go back to the quest giver and go, "Hey, can you give me an objective marker for this?"
Was there a dialogue option I was supposed to click so a quest marker shows up on my map?
Yeah.
Demon Spleen Shrimp Mafia is my favorite hip-hop group from Memphis. No, okay, so I will say a couple things here. One is that I really want Barbella and Reaper to stay together because I think you two haven't gotten to speak very much. The other is if you go back to the Cephalids and start asking questions, they're the ones who are trying to be secret about the bribes, so they're not going to tell you directly.
Why don't we, instead of looking for the thing we don't know about yet and wait for the smart member of the party to figure it out, why don't we go to one of the two people we already know is involved in the Krill cartel, or not involved, but has an idea? So that would be either Bitter Creek or Papa K Part.
Bitter Creek probably would have no reason not to share info if they know it.
Barbella, you started with a relationship with him, and then after Reaper's heroics, he likes her a lot more. So I think at some point you catch him. He's going to the church to lead a little tour of some of the out-of-towners, and you can kind of walk up to talk to him. Can I actually get an Arcana check from the two of you as you go to talk to Bishop Bitter Creek?
15.
Like nothing.
Crit 19.
Holy fuck. All right. So not only do you succeed, I will say you're in the church. You walk into the Church of the Riddlefish. There's some people here looking at the sculptures. The bishop's telling them yes, the Riddlefish came up out of the ground, and the purple smoke's been here ever since. And it's just giving this speech. And you are both just breathing the ambient purple smoke. I said before that it was good. That's what you know about it. With this crit, we are going to dispense with the mystery because you are going to regain a key point or spell slot, whichever one is relevant to your character.
Oh, that's great. I've not used any of them yet, but
you feel some kind of connection with the universe. You feel very balanced, very chill. It's the way I feel when I take just a little too much mushrooms, and I can see the shape of reality, and I feel like I understand.
Yeah, you can just feel the threads tying you to your fellow humans.
I took a smell of this delicious smoke, and now I'm thinking about how everybody's carbon.
Yeah, we're all just carbon molecules. The space between us is fake.
This is a real good fucking material to just be in the air in a religious institution.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna really help sell people on this religion if you enter our church building and start feeling at one with all of humanity.
Yeah, you get bonus points. In fact, for a crit, I'm gonna give you even more than I was planning on, which is you close your eyes, you feel the universe, like the strands between each person, just like the energy. You're going into a K-hole, and you kind of in your mind, I'm trying to think of how even to describe this. You feel a connection with all the people here in church. You feel a connection with the riddlefish wherever it is. You feel the banyan tree above you, and you just intuit or feel on some level the connection between the banyan tree and the riddlefish. You don't know exactly what it is.
Okay.
Barbella and Hylia both were talking about this before, and Hylia joked that the riddle snake is the roots of the banyan. I don't know if that's true. What I'm talking about here is more like if something bad happened to one of them, something bad would happen to the other.
Okay. Barbella needs to stop ignoring Hylia's whole, I'm gonna go be the Pope upstairs deal, and should probably, be a little more interactive on that now.
Yeah, however you want to handle it is, up to you. I just wanted to let you know that they are not completely disconnected. A thing I think about is, what if someone in the setting is just forget about the banyan, stop checking people, just throw everyone in the holes, who cares, bring everyone back.
Yeah.
That would stop working because there is, some kind of flow between the two.
Yeah.
There
is some degree of balance. You can't have the light without the dark, etc.
Literally, yes, that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're having this kind of chill vision, and Bishop Bittercreek eventually walks over to you and says, Sister Barbella, such a delight to see you. How are you, Reaper? Are you holding up well? She's a little nervous, doesn't know if you want to be formally addressed, but trying to be nice.
I feel very powerful. I've already won my first round, and I'm going to win my second very soon.
Oh, you speak with such certainty. Should I empty the tithe basket and try to make a little scratch for the upcoming church picnic?
Sure, why not? Buy yourself something nice.
Oh, pass the offering hat around. Let's get busy. Let's get a nice golden statue up here.
Reaper, Reaper, I'm gonna need you to take the lead on this. I'm having a religious moment here. I'll be with you in 2 minutes.
So, Bittercreek, we need your help with something. There's
you're finally ready for me to save your soul. I'm so glad, Reaper.
No, my soul is perfectly safe, surrounded by darkness. We've been over this. I gave you my books, didn't I? My literature.
Yeah, about the darkness. They were printed in black ink on black paper, so it wasn't particularly helpful.
Yeah, but I told you could kind of move your fingers around and feel where the letters were. Remember?
Yeah, I got to the first chapter, Darkness Imprisoning Me, All That I See, Absolute Horror. I liked the feel of it.
Yes, that was a good chapter title. Anyways...
We need your help finding, what was it, the Plankton Pirates?
The Krill Cartel.
I love just making up cooler and cooler organizations. The Shrimp Mafia. This is fucking awesome. Bishop Bittercreek says, yes, I've heard about them. They control most of the food here in the Eastern Sea. The leshy are their main competitor, but it's pretty hard to bring down a cartel because it's several different large, dangerous organizations working together in concert. That's, I guess, the definition of a cartel. I didn't need to really spell that out.
Well, soon they won't be an issue because we're going to eliminate them.
I mean, we've not necessarily take the whole thing out, but we would like to know enough to be able to, like, strike a couple of strategic blows against them. Because if we attack one, we attack the whole, because everything is connected, you see.
I do see. My only concern is that there have been some generous donations to the church from some business folk that I feel like we might be ruining by asking more questions about this.
Yeah? How much money do you make off these business deals?
Well, I don't make anything. The church uses it to, buy, krill, which is food for most people.
And does the church make a lot of money off of this thing here?
And Reaper is gonna like point over to the gas vent, basically.
I mean, it certainly is drawing a lot of attention and getting people talking. I haven't monetized it yet.
Well, side note, your concern is that we wouldn't have money to buy krill. This would lead to a situation where we would have an ally that would allow us to have a source of food. So, like, that sounds like it balances out.
Yes, Barbella, that does make a lot of sense. And, I want to do the right thing. And this is the part where the game checks and sees if you raised the flag for saving Bitter Creek from Seneschal Kilpatrick last arc, and you did. So he says, well, you didn't hear it from me, but I believe one of the organizations in the Krill Cartel is our very own Banana Boys.
Oh, awesome. I was planning to kill them already.
So if you're looking for information about the cartel and you know any Banana Boys strongholds, outposts, bases, you could certainly farms. You could look through them while
It made sense. They did farm krill there. I took a note about that. Unfortunately, it was in black on black ink, so it wasn't hard to read it until now.
Well, you've got to just lean your book to the side so the ink that's, it catches the light slightly.
That's true. Unfortunately, I only ever read under a black light.
Yeah, so while everyone's at the tournament, I mean, it seems ideal if you're trying to look for information in a place you're not welcome. How fortuitous.
That does sound good. Also, hey, Bishop. I'm having a moment. The tree and the fish are a circle. They're the. I don't have words for what I'm seeing in my head, but we got to come back and talk about the tree and the fish and the fish and the tree.
Oh, well, I mean, you know what I always say at times like this, Barbella? Write a riddle about it.
I'm gonna. It's. I don't have words, and I'm not good at drawing pictures, but I'm gonna come up with a riddle.
I believe in you.
We're gonna go now. I have a tournament to win.
Alrighty then. Whole Patrol finishes up at the church and heads back to the stadium for the next round of the tournament. Reaper, you're up next. So you head out to the pitch, where you can see your next opponent, Goldsby, the great white shark kuo-toa, the one who knocked Barbella out of the tournament. He's waiting to fight. He has a lot of fans. We know the Greenland shark out there and all of his retinue are watching intently. Probably have a lot of money riding on this thing. And everyone's getting excited for the introductions. But when Papa Capehart gets up to the dais, instead of making the normal introductions, he instead makes an announcement. He says, well, I had a lot of fun announcing the first half of the martial arts tournament, y'all. But it's about time I took a little break. I want to get me some crustaceans and some detritus and some yummy plankton. And someone's going to be taking over for me for the second half of the World's Fair Martial Arts Tournament. So let's give a great big Zolfo welcome to a local businessman, Mr. Valenzuela.
Oh, this is bad.
And I will put an icon in the Roll20 here for you all to see. Local cattle rancher, Mr. Valenzuela, who heads up to the dais with a small retinue of slug folk to begin announcing the second half of the martial arts tournament. And as Mr. Valenzuela slowly makes his way up there to the podium. You see he is a bright yellow, new-to-branch slug folk. And you see he has a big belt buckle, where a normal or a terrestrial rancher may have like a cow or bull's skull on his belt buckle. He instead has a krill.
Yeah, that's a yellow slug with sort of black markings on it that does look very much like a banana.
And he takes the announcing position and says to everyone assembled, "Well, it's mighty nice to meet y'all. Who's ready for some violence?"